Good morning, everybody. I had a request to do a video on grit. Grit, basically minerals, but I want to do one mineral in particular, and that mineral is boron. It's spelled B-O-R-O-N, and it's in all of our cells. It's another one of those minerals that we have in all of our cells. What's important about boron is that it relates to our bones, and I would imagine our pigeons' bones, especially the hens, because when they're laying eggs, they draw the calcium out of their bones. If the soil is deficient in boron, for example, peanuts won't grow. They just won't grow. And it's also very interesting. Let me look up the man's name. Rex Newham. He was a botanist, had arthritis. And he knew that certain parts of the world didn't get arthritis, and other parts of the world, there was a lot of arthritis in the populations. So he researched it. And he found that boron, for example, in Israel, there is plenty of it, and the arthritis is very low. In other parts of the world, where it's very high, arthritis, he discovered there was no boron. So he researched it. And he made a tablet for himself. It was actually basically borax. There's no medical borax. Borax is borax. You know, the 20 mule team thing, put it in your wash. It was shut down pretty much because it killed bugs. They thought it was toxic. But he cured himself of arthritis by taking boron. Studies on it have indicated that the testosterone, said that wrong I'm sure, levels go up. And there were several studies on that where it did go up. But it didn't, when they tested athletes, improve their performance. It's a mineral, it's a salt, makes your body alkaline. That might be good, that might be bad. But it's important to know about it. Some of the things that borax does, it's an antibacterial, but only mild. It's distributed throughout the body, mostly in the bones and teeth. Well, forgive me because I'm looking it up. I should have did a little more research before I did this video. But I got it all here. It affects the sex hormones. Well, what made me look this up was a video. I can't remember the guy's channel. He did it on steroids. He had to take steroids. And the doctor told him to be very careful. Even walking, he can break a bone, which brought the boron to mind. If you look online and you look up the borax conspiracy, that's where I found this information, along with other things that I researched on it. So getting back to grit, minerals are extremely important. If you pay attention to your pigeons, when they're breeding, they crave grit. Obviously, they need the minerals to feed the babies, helps them grow. A lot of oyster shell, they get the calcium. Grit for a breeding pigeon is very important. I'm going to tell you a story about it now. I had a yellow triplet hen, and I sold it. The guy wanted it, and I sold it. And I told him when I sold it, this pigeon's going to come back. Make sure you hold it in. He was a bit of a wise guy. Nice guy, but a wise guy. He said, oh, I could fly it, no problem. 3 or 4 days later, the pigeon was home. So I took the pigeon to the pet shop, and I told Frank, I said, Frank, he bought the bird. I can't remember the man's name. I said, when he comes in, give him the pigeon. Well, about a week later, I get the pigeon home again. I take it down there. It was a Sunday, and the man was there. I said, hey, here's your yellow triplet. Came back. I said, this pigeon's very smart. You're going to really have to breed out of it. He said, I'll settle that pigeon. I said, the pigeon's going to come back. Hold the pigeon in. Breed out of it. It's a good pigeon. Oh, about 3, 4 days later, the pigeon was back. I chased it. It stayed. I took it back to the bird store. Well, about 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, I get the pigeon home again. But you know, when your pigeon's feeding, you could see the wet beak, the nostrils. You could tell when they're feeding babies. Bird ate some grit. I chased it. It took off. Didn't come back that day. The following day, the pigeon came back. Didn't want nothing except the grit. I kept the grit on the landing board, and that pigeon kept coming back every day for the grit. I happened to run into the guy in the bird store again, and I said, hey, that yellow triplet keeps coming back. She wants grit. Why don't you buy some grit, put it over there, the bird will stop. I don't know whether he bought the grit or not, but the pigeon came back, kept coming back. So I caught it. And I took it back to Frank. And I told Frank, I said, tell that man to give his pigeons grit. The pigeon keeps coming back for grit. Well, that's how important grit is. Smart pigeon, so smart, she knew where the grit was and would come back to get it. The minerals are important in your pigeons. They do a lot of things to make your body function. This video is getting very, very long. But I want to mention that boron again. and do a search on the borax conspiracy. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn quite a bit. And it'll give you an understanding of how important minerals are. Oh, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down. Check the channel. And thank you for watching.